April 30th, 2017, in Hampton, Virginia, a young mother and her infant daughter were headed to the beach, although on the way to the beach, they just completely vanished. The two victims were 34-year-old Keir Shante Johnson and 8-month-old Chloe Johnson. Keir's friends were eagerly waiting for the family to arrive at Buckrow Beach, but they never did show up that day. They were last seen at 12 p.m. on Hastings Drive in a black Kia Optima. So what happened during the time where they left their house to go meet up with their friends and they vanished? How was that even possible? Were they hijacked off the side of the road in their car? It was a big mystery, and still, up until recently, it was a big mystery. Police are trying to still figure out what happened to them, and sadly, police are still trying to discover their remains. A little bit about the pair. Keir was born July 25th, 1982, along with her twin sister, Keir. I hope I'm pronouncing their names right. Keir, that makes sense. That sounds like something a mother would want to name their twins, like matching names like that. Keir had her baby Chloe on August 15th, 2016, and I couldn't find much about her early life, but besides the fact that her sister and her family just absolutely adored her, everyone around her just seemed to adore her. She would have been celebrating her very first Mother's Day before she went missing, which is so sad because she seemed like she was a great mother. Her sister said about her, "Imagine living in a world and there's no more trees and no more grass. All I know is her." So that's what she described what her life was like, essentially, without her twin. I'm not a twin. I don't know what it's like to have a twin, but I'm assuming you're bonded for life, like even more so than a sibling, because not only did you grow up in the same household and family, but you were born together. Like, I don't know, that's just so terrible, like, for her to have to go on with her life, even though her twin sister is still to this day missing. Keir and Keir were absolutely inseparable, and they were said to have spoken to each other on the phone every day, and that's when she knew something was wrong, because Keir never called that night to say goodnight. She knew she wouldn't have just left and not said anything to anyone. Keir had went on and said from the very beginning that she did believe that this was someone that she trusted who did this to her, because again, it's not like her to just vanish. She trusted this person, and that was the reason why she vanished. That's what she always believed. To start to get answers and to start to explain where the police were headed in their investigation, I have to introduce the father of Chloe and her boyfriend. Some sources say they were ex recently, but his name was Carlos Johnson Jr. They were not married, but I think they lived together at one point. He was the biological father of Chloe, so they had a kid together. And according to her twin sister, she didn't have any knowledge that the relationship was off or harmful. She wouldn't have let that go on if she did think that, but she didn't have any inclination that anything like that was going on. She just did describe Carlos overall as just a weird individual, to put it bluntly. She said you never knew what was going through his head. But just because she never had the abuse mentioned to her doesn't mean it didn't happen, which as I go through the story, you'll probably believe it may have happened, sadly and unfortunately, that this was not a healthy whatsoever relationship. In January 2017, just 3 months before the disappearance of Keir and Chloe, Carlos was found to have been making, to say the least, strange, concerning, disturbing internet searches. I just want to give you a fair warning that this is very disturbing. This was uncovered by police recently, his internet searches. He Googled how much rat poison to kill a human and accidental baby deaths. Later in the month, he also searched forced fatherhood and how to avoid child support and liquid poison that kills instantly. I'm kind of breezing past this because there's not much I can say besides the fact that this is just overwhelmingly disheartening, concerning, disturbing, so scary to think about, because this is why I hate phones. You don't know what your partner is doing on their phone, let alone what they're searching. They could be plotting to kill you and you have no idea. Like, it's just so scary. Like, you think you know someone and he could be sitting in bed next to her typing how much rat poison to kill a human. Like, huh? Like, that is just so beyond scary. Immediately right off the bat, very suspicious, very strange behavior. An innocent person wouldn't make these searches. I personally have never made those searches, so Carlos, weird. That was immediately what investigators thought after seeing that. Her family did say that if they did have knowledge about their fight, like their fighting and anything, Carlos was always bringing up money, child support. He was trying to deny that he was Chloe's father, which in its own is disgusting. Like, the person you're with insinuating that you had an affair and that child isn't his is just disgusting on its own. So he was definitely, there was mental abuse, like constantly saying that, like, I don't think I'm the father. I don't want to pay child support. I don't want to give you money. And yeah, it's just extremely insulting. The couple both had a job at Smithfield Packaging, and they were seen arguing a lot by coworkers. Yeah, so that kind of, they were seen fighting sometimes, occasionally. Also, the morning of April 30th, to kind of jump ahead a little bit, a witness was awoken by a woman crying and yelling outside of her house in the morning, and it was identified as Keir. Phone records showed that Keir was on the phone with Johnson from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., and the records also showed that she stopped by Carlos's house at around 3:30 p.m. Carlos's phone records also put him at his house at 3:30 p.m. They were together at his house at 3:30 p.m. the day she went missing. Around that time, she did make a call to her friend telling her that she was going to arrive in 10 minutes. 4:30 rolls around. She's still not there. And according to phone records, her phone was shut off. So she never left while her phone was on. She never left Carlos's house the day that she went missing. He was the last person to see her. Later that night, Carlos was found abandoning a car, wiping it down before he left. There's also surveillance footage of him in Home Depot and Lowe's buying various supplies like spackle, drywall, and blacklight. So, pretty clear cut, right? Motive, he's always yelling about child support. There he is making weird searches. There he is at Home Depot and Lowe's. It's never good if they're caught on Home Depot and Lowe's. Not trying to diss anyone that goes to Home Depot and Lowe's, but it's just a pattern. Like, they're always there before, which I don't know why. I know why, but anyway. Kind of freaky if you work at Home Depot and Lowe's, like, and they're buying a bunch of weird stuff. Like, why are you buying this? Anyway, according to Carlos, he hadn't seen her until the 29th, the day before. Lie. She was pinged at his house. He was at his house. They saw each other on the 30th. That was all based on phone records. So right off the bat, Carlos is lying. You can't believe anything he says. Discredited. Jump to 2017. In May, police finally obtained a search warrant for Carlos's home, and they did find blood under his carpet. I'm not sure why it took nearly 8 years to officially charge him, but with the phone records, the blood in his house, He was officially charged for both murders of Keir and Chloe. They might have still been finalizing details, searching for evidence. The phone record stuff might have came up then, but he was officially charged this past February 14th on Valentine's Day of 2025. All the family is hoping for is that they at least Carlos gives them the peace in letting them know where their family's bodies are, because as I mentioned, they charged him for the murders, but the bodies are nowhere to be found. He's not talking. No one knows where their bodies are. So not only did the family have to lose a sister, a daughter, a friend, and the baby, but he can't even say where he put them. So that is all I have for you today. I did try to make it a little bit shorter. I haven't posted in a minute, so I'm just trying to make the content a little bit shorter, so I can upload more frequently. Overall, my thoughts. This was like obviously very sad. When I was researching it, I was just like pit in my heart for them. Like, I can't even imagine. And I can't even imagine the friends. Like, she says she's gonna show up. Like, at first you're just like, oh, she's flaking on me. Like, why would she just say she's gonna come, be there in 10 minutes, and then she's gone? And then to find out that she's missing and that's why, that would be so scary. And poor baby. I never understand. I don't even like when they show it in horror movies. How could anybody harm a baby? I just don't. And I mean, they were broken up. Like, just pay the goddamn child support. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, oh my god. It is just, like, I honestly do not know what goes through these people's heads where they feel like murder is the only way out. Like, first of all, you're not going to get away with it. Second of all, this isn't a video game. You can't just eliminate your what you see as problems. Like, it is just, this story is just so terrible. And I really do hope that he does tell them where their bodies are so that they can have a proper funeral and say goodbye properly to them. But it is just so sad. She was so young. The baby was so young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. She was just she was just starting out motherhood, which is so beautiful. It's just, I'm so over these men taking away people's lives when I know women do it too, but very often I've been hearing the story of men wanting a way out. Like my Scott Peterson video I did, them wanting a way out and just taking the worst possible route they can take and hurting everybody in their path. But yeah, I don't even know how to put into words. Just, it was so sad researching. It's sad talking about it. I feel so bad. I hope that they get justice. I tried to see. I don't think that it was settled yet. I know he had his court date, but I still don't think they have a verdict yet. It takes time to go through the court system. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good day. I hope you go enjoy the sunshine and the warm weather. And I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know what you guys think of this story, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, I forgot to introduce you. Hi. Bye, guys.